In a series of escalating confrontations, Hezbollah has released videos purportedly showing attacks on Israeli military positions, underscoring the heightened tensions along the Lebanon border and the contested Golan Heights. The footage depicts two separate incidents, one involving an alleged strike on an Israeli Merava tank in Al-Biada, southern Lebanon, using an Almas anti-armor guided missile. Another video showcases missile launches targeting the Kerala base in the occupied Syrian Golan Heights. While the extent of damage or casualties from these attacks remains unverified, Hezbollah's actions highlight its strategic operations across multiple fronts, aiming to exert pressure on Israel. The Almas missile, reportedly an advanced anti-tank system with precision guidance, has become a prominent tool in Hezbollah's arsenal, particularly in engagements involving armored targets. The Israeli authorities have yet to confirm the specific incidents shown in the footage, but the releases emphasize Hezbollah's capabilities and reach in the region. As the broader conflict continues to intensify, a new threat has emerged on the battlefield: small, silent, and devastatingly precise drones. Hezbollah is increasingly employing first-person view FPV drones in its operations against the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, in southern Lebanon. These drones, guided in real time and often through fiber optic cables, are immune to electronic jamming, fly low and fast, and strike with deadly accuracy. Footage released by Hezbollah shows these explosive-laden drones hitting Israeli tanks and armored vehicles, bypassing traditional defenses. This tactic mirrors innovations seen in the Russia-Ukraine war, where FPV drones have become defining weapons due to their affordability, adaptability, and lethality. For Israeli troops on the ground, the threat is persistent. The IDF has already reported multiple injuries linked to these drone strikes as forces advance into contested territory. Al-Fah. Hezbollah had experimented with such drones before. Their use is now expanding rapidly, reshaping the battlefield dynamics. Israeli authorities have reported rising casualties amid ongoing fighting with Hezbollah in southern Lebanon as cross-border hostilities continue alongside a wider regional escalation. According to the Israeli military, around 48 soldiers were wounded over a 24-hour period, with additional reports of fatalities, including among personnel from the Nahal Brigade. Earlier, the military had stated that at least 10 officers and soldiers have been killed since the start of the current conflict involving Iran and Lebanon, while over 300 have been injured, including several in serious condition. Separately, Israel's health ministry reported that 118 injured individuals were admitted to hospitals on Tuesday, bringing the total number of people treated in Israeli hospitals since February 28th to 6,638 cases. Israeli assessments indicate that the fighting remains intense, and complex, particularly in ground operations. Military sources have pointed to the challenges posed by Hezbollah's tactics, including rocket fire, ambushes, and mobility across terrain, which have contributed to ongoing casualties and operational pressure. At the same time, Hezbollah has continued to carry out attacks targeting Israeli military positions along the border as part of the broader confrontation. In one of the recent incidents in southern Lebanon, Israeli media reported that 4 soldiers, including an officer, were killed, while 3 others were injured, one of them seriously. 4 Israeli soldiers were wounded in separate Hezbollah attacks in southern Lebanon, the Israeli military said, as cross-border hostilities along the northern front continue. According to the Israel Defense Forces, 1 soldier was moderately injured after being hit by shrapnel when a rocket struck near Israeli troops. In a separate incident, 3 reservists sustained light injuries after a deep drone exploded in close proximity to their position. All 4 soldiers were evacuated for medical treatment, with the IDF stating that their families have been notified. The incidents reflect the continued use of mixed attack tactics by Hezbollah, combining rocket fire with drone strikes to target Israeli forces near the border. While the injuries were limited, the back-to-back nature of the incidents highlights the persistent volatility of the Israel-Lebanon front amid the wider regional conflict. As tensions remain high, the northern front continues to act as a secondary but active theater, adding to the multi-front pressure on Israeli forces. The Israeli Defense Forces reported that 4 soldiers were killed during fighting with Iran-backed Hezbollah fighters in southern Lebanon. The deceased soldiers were identified as Captain Noah Madmoni, Sergeant Ben Cohen, Sergeant Liran Benzian, and Sergeant Maxim Antes. The funeral of Sergeant Liran Benzian, killed by an anti-tank missile aimed by Hezbollah, was held in the central town of Golan. The deaths bring the total number of troops killed in the war to 10. Amidst the grief and mourning, a poignant sentiment was expressed at the funeral. Asterisk, oh my pure precious soul, I was blessed to have you, even if for just a short while. And I want to thank the Holy One, blessed be He who gave you to us, even though it was for such a brief time. May your soul in heaven watch over all of Israel. May we finally receive good news. Enough already. Enough of these funerals. Enough of this pain. Children lying here in the ground. What are all these lives worth? What is life worth? Enough of wars. Please make peace already. Asterisks. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have targeted an apartment in Beirut, marking a shift in the conflict's dynamics. The Israeli army stated it had begun striking Hezbollah infrastructure in the Lebanese capital without detailing the specific targets. The broader geopolitical landscape is further complicated by Iran's involvement in the ongoing hostilities. Iran has been carrying out attacks on Israel and U.S. military installations after rejecting a peace proposal put forward by former U.S. President Donald Trump. In a statement, Iran emphasized its stance, declaring asterisks, "We have not engaged in any direct negotiations with the United States." What has occurred is the presentation of a request for talks, accompanied by a series of proposals originating from the American side, which has been conveyed to us through various intermediaries, including nations like Pakistan. After it's in the ongoing escalation of hostilities in the Middle East, Hezbollah has released videos that purportedly display its recent attacks on Israeli military positions. This act underscores the increasing tensions along the Lebanon-Israel border and the contested Golan Heights. According to the footage, there are two distinct incidents. One involves an alleged strike on an Israeli Merkava tank in Al-Biada, southern Lebanon, with an Almas anti-armor guided missile, and another shows missile launches targeting the Kerala base in the occupied Syrian Golan Heights. The actual extent of damage or casualties from these attacks remains unverified, as Israeli authorities have not confirmed the specifics of these incidents. However, Hezbollah's actions are indicative of its strategic operations across multiple fronts, aiming to exert pressure on Israel. The Almas missile, reportedly an advanced anti-tank system with precision guidance, has become a prominent tool in Hezbollah's arsenal, particularly in engagements involving armored targets. This highlights the group's increasing technological capabilities in warfare. As the broader conflict continues to intensify, a new threat has emerged on the battlefield: small, silent, and devastatingly precise drones. Hezbollah is increasingly employing first-person view, FPV, drones in its operations against the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, in southern Lebanon. These drones, guided in real-time and often through fiber optic cables, are immune to electronic jamming, flying low and fast, and striking with deadly accuracy. Recent footage released by Hezbollah shows these explosive-laden drones striking Israeli tanks and armored vehicles, effectively bypassing traditional defenses. This tactic mirrors innovations seen in the Russia-Ukraine war, where FPV drones have become defining weapons due to their affordability, adaptability, and lethality. For Israeli troops on the ground, the threat is persistent. The IDF has already reported multiple injuries linked to these drone strikes as forces advance into contested territory. Although these drones are not conventional, their real-time guidance and immunity to electronic jamming make them formidable. The conflict has led to significant casualties. Israeli authorities have reported rising casualties amid ongoing fighting with Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. This cross-border hostility is continuing alongside a wider regional escalation. According to the Israeli military, around 48 soldiers were wounded over a 24-hour period, with additional reports of fatalities, including personnel from the Nahal Brigade. Earlier, the military stated that at least 10 officers and soldiers have been killed since the start of the current conflict involving Iran and Lebanon, with over 300 injured, including several in serious condition. Israeli media has reported specific incidents, such as the recent one in southern Lebanon, where 4 soldiers, including an officer, were killed and 3 others were injured. One seriously. The IDF confirmed that one soldier was moderately injured by shrapnel when a rocket struck near Israeli troops. In a separate incident, 3 reservists sustained light injuries after a drone exploded in close proximity to their position. All 4 soldiers were evacuated for medical treatment, with the IDF stating that their families have been notified. These incidents reflect Hezbollah's use of mixed attack tactics, combining rocket fire with drone strikes to target Israeli forces near the border. While the injuries were limited, the back-to-back nature of these incidents highlights the persistent volatility of the Israel-Lebanon front amid the wider regional conflict. The names of the soldiers killed during fighting with Iran-backed Hezbollah fighters in southern Lebanon have been released. They include Captain Noah Madmoni, Sergeant Ben Cohen, Sergeant Liran Benzion, and Sergeant Maxime Antis. The funeral of Sergeant Liran Benzion, who was killed by an anti-tank missile fired by Hezbollah, was held in the central town of Holon. These deaths bring the total number of troops killed in the conflict to 10. In a heartfelt eulogy, Benzayan's family expressed their grief and longing for peace. "Oh, my pure, precious soul, I was blessed to have you, even if for just a short while," a family member said. Asterisk, "and I want to thank the Holy One. Blessed be he who gave you to us, even though it was for such a brief time. May your soul in heaven watch over all of Israel. May we finally receive good news." Enough already. Enough of these funerals, enough of this pain, children lying here in the ground. What are all these lives worth? What is life worth? Enough of wars. Please make peace already. Asterisk, the conflict is not confined to Lebanon and Israel. An Israeli airstrike recently targeted an apartment in Beirut. The Israeli army announced it had begun striking Hezbollah infrastructure in the Lebanese capital, though it did not elaborate on the specific targets. Meanwhile, Iran has been carrying out attacks on Israel and U.S. military installations after rejecting a peace proposal put forth by former U.S. President Donald Trump. Iranian officials have stated their position clearly, emphasizing their focus on self-defense amid ongoing U.S. military aggression. They've criticized the United States and its allies for using regional resources to attack Iran. Asterisk, it is clear that the U.S. and the Zionist regime are using the resources of regional countries to attack Iran, an Iranian official stated. Asterisk, in such circumstances, international law and our inherent right to legitimate self-defense authorize us to target the origin and source of these aggressions. Asterisk, Iran has urged neighboring countries to prevent the United States and Israel from misusing their facilities for attacks on Iran. This situation is further complicated by reports of American fuel suppliers stationed at bases in Saudi Arabia and other neighboring countries carrying out operations that Iran perceives as threats. Iran has not engaged in direct negotiations with the United States, but has received proposals for talks through intermediaries like Pakistan. Our position is abundantly clear, an Iranian spokesperson said. Asterisk, we are currently in a situation where the military aggression and encroachment by the United States continues with great intensity. All our endeavors, all our might and capability are certainly focused entirely on our self-defense. As furthermore, Iran has expressed frustration with international bodies, accusing them of indifference to U.S. and Israeli actions. They have criticized the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, for its perceived lack of action against potential military aggression targeting Iran's nuclear facilities. Instead of taking a firm stance to condemn the aggressors and ensuring they are held fully accountable for what they've done, an Iranian official commented. Asterisk, the agency's director general, in his various interviews, consistently employs a range of phrases and specific statements that regrettably only serve to make the already difficult problems significantly more complicated. As the conflict continues to unfold, regional dynamics remain tense with geopolitical interests at stake. The situation is exacerbated by the involvement of multiple state and non-state actors, each pursuing their agendas amid the backdrop of a volatile Middle East. The potential for further escalation remains high, with significant implications for regional stability and international relations.